So how you doing? Just trying to balance the stuff you guys did in camp and the first couple preseasons. How much of that do you take into consideration preparing for the season?
A lot. How the groups play well together, the development of these guys, how they're picking stuff up. Um, yeah, there's a lot that goes into thinking about the first 10 games of the season based on what we've seen from 3 preseason games tomorrow before and every practice and walkthrough and film session. So, yeah, there's the individual part for each individual guy, how they can play well and showing them that, showing them how they don't necessarily play so well, and then the group, how we can really be effective as a group based on what we've seen over the last 3 games and the things that don't work, staying away from those. So, yeah, there's a lot of individual conversations that go into it, but also group stuff where we're all in front of the film, watching it and learning from it.
Is there anything that surprised you in terms of how well these guys have understood some concept that they didn't understand in your tour or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, the defense, they're picking up the defense better than they did last year. They're definitely committed to it, which is more than half, like 95% of the battle being committed to the defensive end of the floor. But they are picking up the concepts because they want to pick up the concepts. So, yeah, that's been the big, not necessarily surprise, but it's been really good to see.
What unique benefits or challenges are there having 3 bigs in Alpi, Oos, and Bruno that are so kind of stylistically different from one another? What challenges or benefits are there having that in the rotation?
Yeah, I see it more as benefits because you can kind of mix and match, right? Like there's the switchability of Oos, and if we're getting crushed in a way where our base defense isn't working or our blitzing isn't working, then we can just switch everything with Oos out there, and that makes it great. With Alpi on the defensive end, we're protecting him a little bit more, but then on the offensive end, he can do so many things that the other guys can't. And then Bruno with his picking and rolling and spacing and dunking and blocking shots and offensive rebounding. It's nice to have that in your toolbox where you can kind of mix and match with those guys and more play to their strengths. And I see where your question is, but I look at it more as playing to their strengths and then not necessarily thinking about their weaknesses.
Do you envision that kind of being a situational thing where depending on certain matchups, maybe one guy gets a little bit more run?
For sure. It could be very situational depending on who we're playing, how we're rolling, and if there's, like I said, if there's opportunities for us to get to a switching or a blitzing group, we have those in our back pocket.
Coach, we ask these players a lot of times when they're on the sidelines, what did they learn from the sidelines? When you were out in health and safety protocol, what did you learn as far as looking at your team? Because you was also able to look at your team from a fan standpoint as well, instead of being on the sideline, calling plays, looking.
Yeah, I mean, I learned that Ryan and Craig are pretty good. They're entertaining to watch, but it's so hard. I watched so much film that it wasn't that difficult to just like watch the game, but there's so much emotion attached to it that it's hard to enjoy, and it's hard to like kind of lock in on what's happening. It's just it was hard. It was really hard to watch our team and really kind of concentrate on the things that we need to do better. I do that much better being on the sideline. I guess that's the thing that I learned. Like being on the sideline, I can get a really better feel for the mood of the group, the energy of the group, and then by watching film afterwards and before and all that, that's where I get like to the nitty gritty of the exercise.
Coach, how much growth have you seen out of KJ, since the start of training camp up until where we are now?
A lot. I mean, his shooting is I think is real. He's shooting the ball very well. He's been playing a lot of 3 for us, and he was basically a 4 for us last season. I think he's good at the 3. He can defend threes. He can space. He creates action for his teammates, and has done a really good job. So I'm super pleased with him and what he's done so far.
Has being able to attack off closeouts been a point of emphasis for KJ?
Yeah, I mean, it's set up by his shot, right? Like if he can make the jumpers, then he sees more closeouts, and then he's able to attack them. So Yeah, we want him to attack closeouts, and that's something that we talked about, but it's the shooting that sets that up.
Since Jabari Smith has been out, what are some of the things you've been going over with him? He mentioned he's trying to get the mental aspect of the game since he's not been able to be out there.
Yeah, I really haven't had an opportunity. You know, I've been out for a week, and he got hurt, you know, after San Antonio games, and that was my last day. So I called him the next day, and I was like, oh, I'm out and you're out too, you know? So I haven't really had an opportunity to connect with him because I'm trying to connect with so many people since I've been out for so long. There's only so many hours, so he's next on my list.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Coach.